a lot of questions come in of how can we stretch our hamstrings? What can we do to stretch the glutes? And we have athletes from all over the country, all over the world actually, that train with us. And not only are there baseball athletes, but it's every sport under the sun. And so no matter what it is you do or play, or even if you don't play, if tight hamstrings, hip flexors, glutes, adductors, if those are issues that you tend to have, then this foam roller series is really what you need to be doing every day. So we're going to start with our hamstrings, and we're going to start by sitting on this foam roller. Now there's lots of variations of foam rollers out there. The ones that we use and have at our facility are 6 inches by 36 inches, and it's a very dense foam roller. Some of them are a little bit softer, but we find these to be more beneficial. Also, the very short foam rollers that you can get won't really work very well for this group of stretches. They may not be bad for other things, but for this sequence you do want the ones that are about 36 inches long. Also notice these are very flat and smooth. There are foam rollers that come with a lot of bumps or ridges on them. This won't work for this particular series. Again, they may be great for some things, but for this one you would like to have a flat foam roller, something with no ridges in it. So you're sitting on a mat on the foam roller, and if you have carpeting on a floor, you may not need a mat. If you're rolling over tile, you for sure will need a mat. So we're going to start with the right knee bent and the left leg fully extended. And we want to sit directly on the sits bones. Okay, so you're going to take your left hand onto the floor somewhere in front of you or to your side and reach your right hand forward toward your left foot. Now if you're flexible enough where it makes your foot or your toe, great. If not, resting it on your knee is just fine. You're going to allow your tush to come off the foam roller. So as you're pressing down and forward, you get this really big stretch. Make sure that your right leg and foot stay planted on the floor so that you're not allowing the knee to roll over to the side. You're keeping it nice and straight. You're going to have your head down and your eyes forward toward your knee as you stretch. And think of having a tube of toothpaste in your hand and squeezing that last little bit of toothpaste out of the tube. It should feel like you're kind of squeezing everything out there. After so many breaths, you're going to roll further back, allowing your tush to come further off the foam roller and the foam roller to come closer toward the back of your knee. By doing this, you should start to feel a deeper stretch in your hamstring. How you doing, Ian?
Good.
You feel anything?
Yeah, I'm feeling it.
Relax your elbow on the left side, making sure that the shoulder stays relaxed. And that your foot and your knee on the right are lined up so you don't feel like you're pushing off to the side. We're going to roll back one more time here. And depending on how tight you are will depend upon how low you can get and how long you stay in each place. Notice that we're not rolling back and forth. We're actually staying put. I feel this stretch all the way down the hamstring to the back of the knee, into my calf, into my foot. Where are you getting it?
Right about the same.
About the same thing. And Ian's usually pretty flexible, so if he's feeling a stretch too, then we know it's working. Come all the way up and let's switch to the other side. So now I'm going to bend the left knee, foot flat on the floor, right leg fully extends, my right hand goes down, and I'm taking my opposite hand to my foot. Belly's nice and tight. I want my right elbow to bend so that my shoulder doesn't lift to my ear. And again, I'll start sliding backwards on the foam roller until I find that stretch. Now I roll every day. Sometimes it's first thing in the morning, sometimes it's night, sometimes it's really both twice a day, depending on how much I've trained that day. We always have our athletes rolling prior to their sessions, but again, if they've done a lot of work that day, there's nothing saying that you can't roll at the end of a training session as well. Go ahead and roll a little further back, keeping the heel pressed to the floor. Is it the same stretch for you on both sides? Yeah. I feel this as well all the way down my leg. I'm going to roll back one more time. Keeping the heel pressing into the floor is really important. The minute you lift the heel, you're going to lose that stretch. Good. And let's sit all the way back up again. Okay, that was pretty intense. I felt that on both sides. So the next thing we're going to do is a quad roll or quad release, and then we're going into adductor. So we're going to come off the roller and actually bring the roller in front of us. And Ian and I are going to start with our left leg on. So I know a lot of people like to roll with both legs on top of the foam roller, but we're going to start with one off to the side. I find it to be much more effective. So we're going to place the foam roller in front of the left thigh, And you can either have the hands down or the forearms down, depending on what works best for you with your hands and wrists and shoulders. And my right knee is off to the side. I'm going to stay nice and engaged through the core, and I want to roll from the top of the knee, not over the kneecap, all the way to the hip flexor, keeping that foot on the floor. You want to prevent the foot from lifting up. Allowing the knee to be off to the side will give that one side maximum amount of roll, a maximum range of motion, and the most amount of resistance. So it's kind of not sharing with the other side. So you can go as many times as you need to, let's say a minimum of 5 and a maximum of, 500 if you want. Roll straight up and straight down. Remember, rolling is to be done slowly, and use your exhale as your advantage. So as you exhale, allow your body to release even further. We're just going to do this one more time here. Now from here, rolling the IT band is an easy transition because we're going to roll to the side first, and then we'll come back and do the adductor. So depending upon how much weight or resistance you can handle, maximum would be both legs fully extended. If you need a little less resistance, you can have one foot in front or the knee bent. Again, you can be on your hands, or if it works for you, you can be on your forearms, whatever you need to do. You want to make sure that you're pushing your feet into the floor as you roll, and that you're going from the side of your knee up to the side of your hip. Again, this is to be done slowly. If you feel like you're rolling over a knot and it sort of feels like a big thump, stay on top of it for a minute and allow the foam roller to help dissipate that sensation. And it may or may not the first time. You may have to roll every day for a year to make that go away, or it may release a little bit quicker. So we're going to do a few more here. How you doing, Ian? Breathing?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Painful? Well, we did do a lot of lunges last night, so. We're going to do one last time here. Now we're going to show the adductor on this side as well. We're going to bring the knee back to where it was before and kind of rotate the body a little further. So I'm going to move the foam roller a little bit so you can see. So your adductor, the inner thigh area muscle, gets really, really tight for a lot of people too, and it's kind of an awkward place to figure out how to roll. So I'm back to the first position we were in before, and I'm going to pull my knee a little bit more forward and get more to that inner thigh with the foam roller of the left leg. So again, I want to go from that hip flexor groin area down toward the inside of the knee. And it's a little bit more sensitive for some people there as you breathe. How you doing, Ian?
Good.
You breathing? Can you feel this one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, like I said, a little bit more awkward of a position, and it's very sensitive because most people think of rolling their hamstring or their quad or their calf or IT band, but not everybody takes the time to roll that adductor. And it goes all the way from the insertion point at the knee all the way up to that hip flexor and groin. So as you're doing this, be conscientious of what you're doing, and again, move as slowly as you need to go. I'm going to do one more here. Breathe, relaxing the neck and shoulders, elbows are soft, and then we're going to release. Okay, so just remember, whatever you do to one side, you always do the other side. So you've done your hamstring, your quad, your IT band, and your adductor. So now that we've done one side, is that any different than you usually roll?
Yeah, absolutely. I usually end up just rolling, like foam rolling my hamstrings, and I never really feel it until I started doing this. It makes a huge difference.
Did you notice anything with the adductor as well?
Not so much as I did with the hamstrings. The hamstrings was a huge change for me.
There you go. So it gives you another way to roll everything. Obviously, it makes a bit of a difference. Try all the areas. If you have questions or comments, leave them below, and we look forward to seeing you again real soon. Have a great day.